Go.
Hold on. I just dropped this stuff. Can I go now?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Doug Mariani here with Gigs TV down at the Health Up Cafe in the Strip District of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You're watching Spread the Health. Today, I try and go into different directions with different shows. I'm learning as I go with how to present the show and things like that. And we're getting to the point where we're going to start having themes with the shows, and I've been trying to do that the last few. Today I want to talk about limitations. Well, first of all, before I talk about the theme of limitations for today's concept, our transformation is going very well. We are 60 days into it. I've had 2 people drop off and 2 people take their place doing a 60-day instead of a 90-day transformation. For the most part, everybody's doing great. I mean, everybody, couple people slacking, couple people, what I'm trying to accomplish out of 16 people, I want real stories. I don't want to pretend and make up a bunch of false stuff to try and get, just show people you can go from this to this. I want real stories. I want to show the failures. I want to show the successes. I want to show the people that kind of landed in the middle of the pack because they tried hard sometimes, didn't try so hard other times. I want to show all, the real deal. I want to, show you that so that I can see what kind of range and what kind of desire you have. If if out of 16 people, 8 people were successful and reached their goals and changed their body and transformed their life into a more healthier, more disciplined direction, I want you to know that 50% of them did that. I want you to know that 25% failed completely. I want you to know that 25% kind of fell in the middle. That's kind of where we're at with, after the 60-day mark. So I want to commend the people that really are sticking with it, making it work. I want to thank them, first of all, for participating, but I want to commend them because they're working hard. They're doing the deal. It's not easy to be in a rut and to be in a wrong rut, going in a wrong direction. It's not easy to stop that and get started in a different direction. And that's what's going to kind of lead me into our theme for today with our limitations. Every person on the transformation, they all have limitations. We're average, everyday people. I didn't go after bodybuilders. I didn't go after athletes. I went after that 40-something person who's, gotten out of shape, who's raised their kids are getting a little older. They've been so focused on everybody else's life that's around them, meaning their kids and their spouses and things like that, and their jobs and everybody else, that they've neglected themselves. So I've taken people like that and we're trying to get them motivated, get them the right products, get them in the right direction. So they all have limitations as well as you do, as well as I do. We need to figure out our limitations, number one, and then we need to know that, figure out, first of all, if it's a physical limitation, that's one thing. If it's a mental limitation, that's another thing. If it's just a made-up limitation in our mind, we need to figure all those things out. If I blew my knee out and I can't walk, that's a limitation. If I think if I have back pains or I had back surgery or I have this, that's a limitation. But keep in mind, even though you have limitations, there are ways of getting yourself inspired, and there are other things you can do. I see probably one of the most impressive pictures I've seen maybe in my life, if not in a long time. It was a bodybuilder contest, and there was like 8 bodybuilders in wheelchairs, and they were literally they were paraplegics, but yet they were flexing and they looked phenomenal, their upper body. What more limitation is that than to be struck into a wheelchair for the rest of your life, but not let that get you down, and you actually look in better shape than I do or 90% of the people out there. So your limitations, they are limitations, but they're only limitations to how much you let them affect you. So the bottom line is, we all have limitations. How do we deal with it? My limitation is, who knows? It might be time. It might be the struggle to just, break away and get that hour for myself. That may be a limitation. It doesn't have to be a physical. It doesn't have to be a mental. It could be a time restraint limitation. But there's ways of figuring out. It's all how healthy do you want to be. You got to look at, your life and your schedule and say, what can I do? At the least, at the very, very least, I can eat healthy. At the very least. At the most, I can eat healthy and work out every day vigorously. There's a lot in between of that. So, somewhere between being fanatical about working out and that's all you live, eat, sleep, and breathe is training and, you know, a healthy diet, and between laying on the couch and doing nothing, there's a lot in between. You know, so the bottom line is start with your diet, check your limitations, number one, on your foods, on what you're allowed to eat, what you're capable of eating. You might have allergies. I mean, it's a, you know, it goes all the way back to childhood. You know, you have limitations throughout your whole life. It's how do you want to deal with them? How do you want to beat them? You know, to me, a limitation is something that is holding me back from accomplishing my goal. So how do I get through that wall? You know, in our business world, you know, I look around and I talk to Kurt and I say, listen, we need people that aren't going to be robots just to, you know, they run into the wall, they run into the wall, they run into the wall. You know, we need people that can go through the wall, over the wall, around the wall, or under the wall. The wall can't be a limitation when they run into something. Same thing. You may have a wall in your way. That wall may be your willpower, that wall may be a blown out knee, that wall may be paraplegic, that wall may be a lot of things. But that's what it is, it's a wall. Do you want to continue to run into the wall, run into the wall, run into the wall, or do you want to figure it out and find a way around the wall, or over, or through, or under? Every limitation can be beat. Every limitation can be adjusted around. So, you know, I may never ever be able to do squats because of my blown out knee, but there are definitely things I can do for my upper body, certain things I can do for my lower body, maybe have limitations in what I can do, but that shouldn't stop me from accomplishing some goals. I may not be able to have a, like if I was a professional athlete and I was, or on the way, a young kid on the way to being a professional athlete, and I blew out my knee and it ruined my career, yeah, that was a limitation, but what can I do with what I've learned along the way? You know, with just being athletic, with having still skill. I may not be able to be a professional athlete, but that's a limitation in that direction. But I can take my skills and everything else I've learned and go into a different direction, go into coaching, teaching the next generation. You know, a lot of coaches make a lot of money. You know, somebody with a blown out knee in college might have an intelligence level that can move forward and knows how to handle kids and handle people and coach and do things like that. Athletic directors and gym teachers, there's a lot of things you can do out there. So the limitation is, to me, whether it's physical, mental, you know, whatever other type of limitation, you're only as limited, it's only as big of a limitation as you allow it to be. So to a certain point, it's kind of all mental. You know, if I didn't have a leg and I wanted to run the marathon, I would find a way to run the marathon with no leg. If I didn't have a leg and I let it depress me and let it limit me and let it stop me, I would do nothing. I would sit around and feel sorry for myself and think, you know what, I don't have a leg, the world has to feel bad for me, you know, and let me sit down and freaking take painkillers all day because my leg hurts. You know, so there's a lot of different ways you can go and look at things. You know, I'm a pretty positive person and I always try and look positive. That doesn't mean there's times I'm depressed and there's times life beats me up. You know, I was talking yesterday with everything that goes on in my life, and I'm trying to organize 5 different businesses and, you know, grow the Gigs TV and do everything we're trying to do. You know, sometimes everything's in my mind, sometimes it gets jumbled. Same with life. Sometimes, you know, everything backs up on you so much that those limitations come from 10 different directions and it just beats the crap out of you. But keep in mind, the limitation is only there because you allow it in. It's only there because you're considering a limitation. You're allowing it to be a limitation. But reality is, there should be no limitations for us, because we can accomplish anything we want to accomplish. So forget the limitations and let's go after reaching goals. Let's go after accomplishing something. Let's go after defeating all odds, beating all odds. You know, the bottom line is every human being out there can do amazing things if we put our minds to it. You know, I mean truly amazing things. So don't let somebody else or something else limit you. Don't let it stop you. Don't let a physical impairment keep you from reaching a goal or keep you from being productive or successful. Don't let that happen. You know, and a lot of times we talk about, you know, our show's primarily about nutrition and health and, you know, just trying to get you in the right direction. So I'm going to talk to the people that truly do have physical limitations out there. Don't let it stop you. You guys get up off the couch. You guys get out there and start pushing. You know, right now I don't have any physical limitations. I probably have more time limitations than anything else. So I can't understand what you're going through. You know, yeah, I've had a sore back and I've had a lot of different things, but I've been pretty healthy my whole life. My mom has had 2 knee replacements, 3 discs fused together, so she has a lot more physical limitations. So, you know, let's talk about my mom for a second. She can either let those physical limitations depress her and beat her down and do nothing and let everybody feel sorry for her that I can't do anything, or she can say, you know what, this isn't going to limit me, this isn't going to stop me. I can get through this, I can beat this. Let me get out there, let me get walking, let me get myself in shape, let me get excited, let me get my blood flowing. Let me get to the Y, let me go in the pool. There's a lot of things you can do. Because even with a physical limitation, getting motivated to do something is better than doing absolutely nothing. You know, I mean, reality is, you know, we can accomplish whatever we want to accomplish, and we can allow failure in when we decide to let failure in. So, in my personal opinion, you know, I'm a very, you know, when I go to do something, whether I've done it before or not, I guess you can call it confident, cocky, whatever you want to say, or just a plain bullshitter as far as, you know, to being able to bullshit. I can do that, I'm the best at it. But, you know, around anybody that I'm with, if I've never done something before, I don't act like I'm the best at it, but I definitely know I'm capable of learning it. Whatever it is, I definitely know that I'm capable of being good at it, because not whether I am or not, I believe that I am. So that means if I believe that I am, that means I can do it. I can at least try it. So my son, he's my younger son, he's got a little bit of a problem. As soon as, at least not as much now, but when he was a little bit younger, he's 13 now, and he was growing up to that age, you know, he would have, try something once, couldn't do it, oh, I can't do it, and he'd be done. And I'd say, Bob, nobody knows how to do everything the first time, nobody. You know, but as he started to grow and do things more and more, now he's the type, just like, he gets really good at it now. So if he can just get past that point of I can't, and say, you know what, I can do anything. I'm not going to let this limit me, or my fear of doing it limit me, or my fear of never doing it limit me. I'm not going to let my missing leg limit me. I'm not going to let my bad shoulder limit me. I'm not going to let my bad back limit me. I'm going out to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I'm going to go out and feel good. I'm going to go out and get myself healthy. And to be honest with you, with all those other limitations that have access to limiting you physically, nothing should limit you on as far as health-wise, as far as nutrition. The only limit is your mind. You know, your limit, you know, and my limit as well, like I said, I'm an eater, I love to eat. You know, I limit myself a lot of times because I'm weak with eating. There's a lot of times, even though I eat a lot healthier now, I still probably eat a lot more than I should, even though it's healthy. You know, I could easily lose 20 pounds if I just didn't eat after 7 o'clock at night. But I love to eat. And I eat till I'm full, and I eat till I go to bed, and I eat till, you know, I'm an eater. Thank God I've learned to eat the right foods to at least maintain where I'm at. And at least if I am going out and training, I can be at least physically somewhat fit. You know, but my limitation is more my willpower, to be very honest with you. So let's figure out what our limitations are, and then let's try and attack them. Let's try and say, you know what, I'm not going to let, because, you know, my willpower's a little bit weak and it's 6 o'clock at night, you know, that's, I talk myself into being tired, I talk myself into being a little bit stiff and sore. You know, when I got my 30 minutes of cardio in this morning, I did my abs this morning, I'm good. But the reality is, if I would, and so what I do is then I lay down, and instead of, and knowing I did my cardio this morning, I lay down, relax, and start eating. Now, thank God, again, I'm eating healthy food, but I start eating. If I didn't allow that mentality to limit me, and I pushed through that, and I said, you know what, let me go to the Y instead. Let me go work out. Let me jump on the treadmill at home. Let me get another 20 or 30 minutes of cardio in. 2 things that would do. Number 1, I'd break through my limit. You know, what's limiting me. Number 2, I would actually get a second cardio in for the day, so it would get my metabolism up and running. It would give me more energy for the night. It would probably prevent me from eating probably 30 to 40% of the food that I do intake at night. Because number 1, the time I'm on a treadmill, I'm not eating. Then you got probably a good hour after that, your blood's flowing and you're feeling good, you don't feel like eating. By then it's probably, I go to bed early, 9:30 at night, by then it's probably 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And if there was any time to shovel something into my face, it's going to be very limited. It's going to be very small. It's not going to be one thing after the next after the next. Because I do get up at 4:30 and I do go to bed at 9:30. So, you know, if I start doing something at 6 o'clock or 6:30, instead of laying down, knowing I got one workout in, I'm good. Let me push myself right past my limits to get that second workout. So that's going to be my goal. That's going to be my goal for the week. You know, all week I'm going to try, and because I'm doing our transformation as well, and believe me when I tell you, I could use that second cardio to get that final picture in. So what I'm going to try and accomplish this week is to break through my limits of mental and, you know, laziness and lack of drive, I guess you could call it. I'm going to break through that limit this week, and I'm going to do a second cardio from today all the way through next week, and I'm going to let you know how it's working out for me. I want you to look at whatever you feel your limitations are, whether it be physical, mental, whatever it is. I want you to really focus, and if you have multiple limitations, focus on one. Let's fix one limitation. Let's not fix, let's break through one limitation at a time. So pick one that's in your life, pick a limitation, pick something that has been holding you back or preventing you from accomplishing your goal. And I want you to turn and focus your energy on that for the next week or 2 weeks till you can break that freaking limitation. And I want you to attack it, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack my nighttime workout. I'm going to make sure that every night this week I get that second workout in, whether it's at home on a treadmill or whether it's going to the Y and working out and doing that second body part or that first body part if I only do cardio in the morning. You know, so I mean, the bottom line is, you know, life is life. I mean, life is tough. It isn't easy. It isn't easy. We all go through not exactly the same difficulties, but we all go through the difficulties. We all go through everything going wrong today, family tragedy, this happened, that happened, I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that. We all do. So how do some people get in shape and how do some people not? Are they more educated? I don't know if that's necessarily what it is. Maybe a little bit. You know, do they pay attention more? I don't know if that's what it is. You know, maybe a little bit. Do they have more willpower? I don't know what it is. Maybe a little bit, or maybe all those little things added up make a lot and make the difference. So number one, you got to educate yourself on your own body, on what your limits are, what you can consume, how it affects your body. Just like I say almost every show, pay attention to your own body. That's number one. Number two, set a game plan, set some goals, figure out what your limitations are, and try and break through them. Try and move into the right direction. You know, try and every day take a step forward instead of taking a step backwards. Here's the thing, you're not going to change everything overnight. If you go to remodel your house, like look at your body like remodeling your house. You're going to go into your house, you're going to gut it, and first it gets a lot worse, then it gets better. I was talking to one of our transformation people the other day, and she said that because she's lifting and working out more now, she's feeling her muscle, but she's feeling a spare tire now. And I said, you know what that is? That's your muscles underneath tightening up and actually separating from the fat. So you're actually being able to determine the difference between the muscle in your body and the fat. That's why it feels like an inner tube, because it's separating. It's showing that you're building some muscle. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. Just like gutting a house, just like remodeling a house. So you go in, you gut your body, gets worse. You go in, you say, okay, what do I need to do? You look at everything. Now you determine what you want to do to rebuild. Because now you have a blank slate. You've cleaned everything out. You've emptied everything out. You're ready to start moving forward. What do I want to accomplish? Do I want this wall, that wall, this wall? Do I want to build muscle? Do I want to lose fat? Do I want to just, you know, I mean, overall do both? Do I want to be lean? Do I want to be thick? How do I want to look? How do I want to build? Then get your game plan together. Then once you know how you want to look and you have an idea and a picture of how you want to look, get yourself educated on how to get there. You know, to me, protein is a must no matter what diet you're taking in. No matter what type of athlete, no matter what type of human being you are, you have to take in protein every single day. As conscious as you can be of consuming protein, that's to me how conscious you have to be. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're intaking, try and make sure there's some protein involved. And it doesn't matter what type of protein as long as there's something involved in the beginning stages. Once you get that underway, you're going to start actually retaining that protein in your muscle. Now which direction do I want to go? What do I want to do next in remodeling my body? Building my house. What do I want to build next? Okay, now you work on cutting your fat. How do I cut my fat? I can cut my carbs and burn it. I can cut my fats and burn it. There's several ways. I can cut my sugars. I can watch my calories. I can do 1,000 different things to cut your fats. So you educate yourself, you test it out on your own body, you see what works, you see what makes you feel good, and you move forward with it. I'm not here preaching any particular diet or any particular anything. I'm just trying to get you motivated, get you started going in the right direction, make you realize that our limitations are, whether they're real physical limitations or not, they're still in our mind. We can accomplish anything we want to accomplish. We can accomplish anything we set out to accomplish. The worst thing in life to me, and my wife is a culprit, and my son is just like her as a culprit, lack of confidence that you can accomplish something. My wife is probably one of the most talented people I've ever seen, but she's not the most confident in her talent. I'm not the most talented person in the world, but I'm very confident, which makes me look more talented. So confidence, you need to have that. The confidence is going to break through what your limitations are. The confidence is going to not care if somebody sees your limitations because you're working on it and you're building on it and you're breaking through it. You understand? I don't let other people, what they think, what they perceive me as, keep me down at all. I couldn't care less. I'm here talking the truth. I'm here giving you what my heart tells you, what I feel. If somebody doesn't understand it or can't accept that, then I can't do nothing about it. If somebody looks at my limitation and wants to hold me back with that, that's even more I want to break through. Don't let anybody, anything, any type of limitation hold you back, prevent you from accomplishing what your goals are, what you want to do. But the bottom line is, if you're not healthy, you can't accomplish anything. So if your limitation is your health, is your weight, is your diet, is your exercise program, you have to break through that limitation. You have to get out there and get started. You have to. Like I talked about on yesterday's show, you know, if two people live to 50 years old and they both drop dead of a heart attack at 50, and this guy never worked out a day in his life when he was 400 pounds, and this guy worked out every day in his life and was in shape and great and this and that, and you say, well, see, he freaking worked out his whole life and he still died just like he did. You're right. But how did they live their life? What was the quality of life for each of them? This guy over here eating every day, laying on the couch, never doing anything, and maybe that's what he believed was happy. This guy over here having energy, doing things, being able to go have fun with their kids, being able to go enjoy things and do physical things with their kids. This guy over here, unable to, hey Dad, let's go play, now I'm too tired, let's go catch, now I'm too tired, let's go do it, now I'm too tired. That's the quality of life. So not necessarily what you eat is going to change the length of your life, because I believe when it's your time, but it's going to change the quality of life. And I got to be honest with you, anybody who doesn't want a better quality of life, it's not for you as an individual, but for your children. Look at it this way, the guy who's in shape, dropped dead at 50, but was able to do everything his kids asked him, playing wise and teaching wise and all that. This guy over here who couldn't do anything with his kids because he's always too tired and too lazy and on the couch. Did your kids have it? Even though your quality of life, you might be okay with your quality of life on the couch, but did your kids have the quality of life from you to be the proper dad, to be the proper teacher, the proper educator, to be able to go out and have fun with them and do things with them? Did they get the same quality of life as the other guy who was able to do things with their kids? So the limitation is up here, but you got to start with health. Don't let diet be a limitation to you. Don't let the wrong foods be a limitation to you. Don't let going to the supermarket and 90% of the aisles being garbage food that's not good for you be the limitation against the 10% of aisles that are healthy. Start leaning and start reading the packages and leaning towards those healthier aisles. You know, bottom line is, you can buy pasta, you can buy healthy pasta. You can buy pizza, you can buy healthy pizza. You can buy snacks, you can buy healthy snacks. The limitation is what I'm so used to doing and what I crave every day. That's my limitation. So I'm going to go buy candy and Scooby snacks and garbage every day, instead of going to the fruit aisle and getting bananas and grapes and oranges and going down the protein aisle and getting protein pastas and gluten-free pastas, where I'm going to go buy a bunch of garbage. So, you know, don't let the diet, don't let the nutrition side be a limitation. Because I'm telling you, if you fix the nutritional side of your life, you're going to fix a lot of the other limitations. You're going to break through a lot of those other limitations. Because if I'm 400 pounds and my limitation is my diet, and I change my diet, But because I'm 400 pounds, my back hurts, my knees hurt, my ankles hurt. I can't carry my own weight load. And I fix that first limitation, which is diet, and I lose 200 pounds. Guess what? My other limitations are going to fade off. You know, my back's not going to hurt as bad. My knees aren't going to hurt as bad. My ankles aren't going to hurt as bad. They're not bearing the weight load. So, you know, one limitation that you allow in will lead to others. One limitation you break through will lead to other breakthroughs. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I really want to just inspire some people out there. Chat in with us. Let us know. I mean, let us know if we're helping anybody. You know, we appreciate everything you're doing, everything you're tuning in. Keep posted. We're getting ready to do some other pretty neat and interesting shows. So tune in to Gigs TV. Pay attention to Gigs TV. Get your good stuff. We're getting ready to launch our internet mall. So, you know, anybody's got any products or anything out there, let us know. We're going to help you get them out there. So I appreciate you tuning in. From Spread to Health and Gigs TV, Doug Mariani signing off.